Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Pond Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the final exhibition game of the 2025 campaign. It'll feature the Yokohama DeNA BayStars against the Saitama Seibu Lions. And it will be a battle of two pretty good arms here tonight as Trevor Bauer is going to take to the hill for Yokohama against Kona Takahashi, who takes to the hill for the Lions. We're going to give you the starting lineup for Yokohama to begin with, as it'll be leading off and in center field is Masayuki Kuwahara. Batting second and playing at second base is number 2, Shigomaki. Hitting third at third base tonight is number 26, Masaki Momori. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 3, Tyler Austin. Batting fifth and in left field is number 7, Kaita Sano. Batting sixth in right field is number 58, Kuki Kujiwara. Hitting seventh and doing the catching is number 50, Yuda Yamamoto. Batting eighth at shortstop is number 00, Takuma Hayashi. And batting ninth and doing the pitching tonight is Trevor Bauer, and he'll wear number 96 for Yokohama. That's your starting lineup for the BayStars, as they will be facing Kona Takahashi, who takes to the hill with a 2-0 record in the exhibition season. He's worked 8 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, no runs, nothing earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 3. He's posted an ERA of 0 in his 2 starts. And now your starting lineup for the home team, the Saitama Seibu Lions. Batting in the leadoff spot and playing in right field is number 63, Shinya Hasegawa. Batting second and doing the catching is number 51, Manaya Nishikawa. Hitting third and playing first base is number 26, Tyler Nevin. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 40, Leandro Cedeno. Batting fifth and left field is number 8, Seiya Watanabe. Batting in the sixth spot and playing third base is number 5, Shuta Tonosaki. Hitting seventh at shortstop is number 30, Hiya Moriyama. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 22, Yurokoga. And batting ninth and at second base is number 39, Taiga Hirasawa. And they're going to be facing Trevor Bauer, who is taking to the hill. He's only worked 1 game with the first team so far. That was against the Oryx Buffaloes a couple of weekends ago. As Bauer has worked 3 innings, he's allowed 5 hits. He has allowed 2 runs. Neither were earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 2, and he's got an ERA of 0. Well, those are your starting lineups. The game will be going here in just a couple of moments as the Lions have taken to the field. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. This is our friend Steve Rademacher. You're going to see a little bit of him throughout the evening. Hopefully you guys get a chance to go and check him out when you have an opportunity to do so. We'll be right back after this.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. Kona Takahashi has taken to the hill to begin his warm-up tosses as they'll already get this one underway. Certainly a lot more people in the stands than when we witnessed the Saitama Seibu Lions playing earlier this week, as they had taken on the Hiroshima Carp. A couple of ball games that we were able to give the call on. And the Carp, certainly right now, they are going to be hosting the Fukuoka Ball Club tonight, as they were in a bit of a home-and-home type of series against the Hawks. There are other games that are currently underway at Escon Field between the Swallows and the Fighters. It is 2-0 in the top of the fourth for the Fighters. The other game that is going on right now in the bottom of the second inning, it is the Dragons locked at zeros with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That's in the bottom of the second. That's at the Vantolin Dome in Nagoya. And at the Kyocera Dome in the top of the fourth inning, the Buffaloes have a 1-0 lead over the Hanshin Tigers. And that is your out-of-town update. All the other games get going in a few hours' time. Or actually, all the other games get going here shortly. They're all early starts tonight. So here comes the first pitch of the ball game. From Takahashi, it's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away by Kuwahara, and we are underway. So no balls and one strike. Kuwahara hitting .214 in exhibition play. He's got no homers and 6 RBIs, batting from the right side against Takahashi, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. When we did the game earlier in the week against the Carp, there were lots of empty seats. And here it is probably a little bit, I'd say probably 12, 13,000, my early guess. There's a fastball that comes inside, and it has hit Kuwahara. I don't know if he got it at the end of the bat or if it did hit the hand of the batter. But an 0-2 pitch, and Kona Takahashi comes inside, and Kuwahara is, you can see, in significant pain. He's walking it off. He's acknowledged by the catcher, Yuta Koga, as he makes his way to first base. And got him on the top hand. It looked like it got him on the thumb. That is going to be a little bit painful. I don't know if he's going to stay in the game or not. They're going to take him out of to have a look at least at the bare minimum. So we're going to have right off the bat a bit of an injury delay here. We got our friend Tyler in the house here, and we got Joe in here. Joe, how you doing? Tyler, everybody's doing pretty good, pretty good. Glad you guys could pop in here to make it in. So for those of you who don't really know Japanese baseball, sometimes that when there's a hit by pitch or somebody gets hurt, they take them right down the tunnel and they do an evaluation. They don't do the evaluation to make a decision on the field. So right off the hop, we have a hit by pitch, and we have the player going down the tunnel. So we don't know if he's going to stay in the game or not, but they do make that evaluation. Joe said he's all good. He just woke up. I heard Joe was not feeling very good earlier. Hopefully you're feeling better tonight as well. So concern from the BayStars fans, as we said, their leadoff hitter, Kuwahara, took that fastball off the top hand on the thumb, it looked like, in particular. So they'll go have that one looked at and see where he will stand. And if they're not, then they're going to have an early substitution. And by the looks of it, the manager has come out. And it looks like we may have ourselves a early substitution. Now you're going to have a pinch runner over at first base for Yokohama. I would try to pick up a number here. It looks like his number is 61. So that's Tatsuo Ebina. So he is coming in to run for Kuwahara. Well, one person's disappointment is another person's gain, and so that is Ebina running at first. It'll be Shugo Maki coming to the plate. Maki hitting .349 in the exhibition season. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. So he's picked up right where he left off last year, swinging the bat very well. Takes a first pitch fastball at 94 under the hands for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Joe says he's feeling a little better. Tyler says the third shift life, and he's glad to have baseball back. Well, we're glad to have you with us too, Tyler. We're going to be busy this week. We are going to call the Mariners and Oakland opening night game, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-2. That'll be on Thursday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 p.m. in the Eastern time zone. So if you're around and you want to listen in, you can jump in there with us. And then we're going to give opening night from Japan. That game will go off at 2 in the morning. We haven't decided who we're going to call yet. We'll look to see the pitching matchups. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Maki goes in the books for the first out of the inning. So one gone. That's going to bring up Masaki Momori to the plate. Momori looking for his first hit in the exhibition season. Does not have a batting average. He's got no homers and 1 run driven in. As he steps in here, the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk getting the nod tonight at third base. He's batting from the left side. He stands with his toes right up on the chalk line. And here's the pitch. First pitch fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Momori. 0 for 5. is Momori in the exhibition season. But the big news tonight is Trevor Bauer is on the hill for Yokohama. That is the piece tonight. He is also in the batting lineup, too, as Takahashi steps off and feigns a throw to first base. So no balls and one strike here to Momori. Tyler says he noticed that Bauer's back in Japan, adds to the excitement, and also adds to the depth of an already strong team that won the Japan series. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. They go to second for one, back to first, and that's going to be an ending-to-ending double play. It's going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety, and that is going to do it here in the first inning for the BayStars. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors. There was nobody left aboard, so an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. Your score after a half inning, it's Yokohama, no score, and Saitama coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the first in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We debuted this one the other night. We'll use it on opening day and every day. Here is our friend Steve.
Thank you for that introduction, Freddie. Hey guys, Steve coming back at you today, and every day is opening day on my channel. I open everything from hot sauce to beer to deviled eggs to Kansas soup to ravioli to sport card packs like you wouldn't believe. I open blasters of stuff. I open regular boxes of stuff. Speaking of hot sauce, I open hot sauce, which is often gifted to me from the community. I have it all. I open up Star Wars by the tons, including the Family Guy Star Wars. I have a bunch of wrestling that I do open, and I do non-sport cards like crazy. As you can see, we have it all. I even open Marvel, tons and tons of Marvel cards. But you never know, on my channel, you just may have a little trouble with tribbles, too. Remember, opening day, every day. Thank you, Freddie. See you in Funny Pages, guys.
Appreciate you there, Steve. Trevor Bauer has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here, as he will face the top of the order of the Lions in Shinya Hasegawa, Manaya Nishikawa, and Tyler Nevin. Hasegawa stepping to the plate, batting .256 in the exhibition season with a homer and 3 RBIs. They do have some wheels at the top of the order, as both Hasegawa and Nishikawa can run a little bit. As Bauer, working from the windup, he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and he's ahead in the count at 0-1. Bauer, after his first outing, he had some comments in his last outing. Before this outing, he says he feels like going 200 pitches. So having some tongue-in-cheek with the media, as there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. Tyler says, yeah, kind of unlucky that Bauer leaves and then they win a championship. He had a pretty good season in the Mexican League last year, as the 1-1 is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into left field. Coming in on it with room to make the catch is the left fielder. And that is Sano, who hauls it in, and he is going to retire Hasegawa for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up Manaya Nishikawa. For Nishikawa, he's hitting .268 in the exhibition season, homer and 3 RBIs. One thing that is noticeable about Bauer is he's shed some weight. He's trimmed down. He's in much better shape. He looks like he's in his rookie or second year form. So he has trimmed down noticeably. Here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball down and into Nishikawa, and the count is quickly 1-0. Nishikawa batting from the left side here. The Lions are in their all-white uniform with the blue trim. And it is the white pants and the blue tops for the BayStars, as that breaking ball misses down. The count now goes to 2-0. Defensively tonight for the BayStars, from left to right field, Sano is in left. Ibina is now in center, and Kajiwara is in right. As that fastball is taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. That last pitch was at 94 on the gun. Around the horn from first to third, it is Tyler Austin at first, Shugo Maki at second. It'll be Takuma Hayashi at short, and the third baseman's Masaki Momori. As that breaking ball bounces up to the plate, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Nishikawa, with the battery of Bauer and Yamamoto. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Bauer working from the windup. He gets his sign from Yamamoto. And he rocks and delivers. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is lifted into right field. Coming in on it with plenty of room to make the catch is Kajiwara, and that will retire Nishikawa for the second out of the inning. So 2 fly ball outs. And that'll leave it up to the first baseman, Tyler Nevin. Nevin has had a very good spring, and that's what the Lions are going to need. They need to get their import players to be producing. I think a couple of years ago when they had Corey Spangenberg, last year they had Jesus Aguiar. Just disappointing in terms of the numbers. Nevin hitting .333 in exhibition play. No homers, but he's driven in 8. As he waits on the offering here from Bauer, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing up, and the count is 1-0. Nevin is the son of former Angels manager Phil Nevin. He bounced around a little bit in the big leagues. He was last with Oakland, but spent time in Detroit and Baltimore. As he takes a breaking ball in the outside corner, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bauer again rocking into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is chopped foul over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bauer working efficiently and effectively so far here as he gets his sign from his catcher and he rocks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. Another one lifted in the air. This time is to the left center field. Drifting over to his right with plenty of room to make the catch is Ibina, and that is going to do it as Nevin is gone for the third out of the inning, and they go in order here to the Lions. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. 3 fly ball outs against the American right-hander. Your score as we move to the second inning, it is Yokohama 0 and Saitama 0. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Kota Takahashi to face the heart of the batting order for the BayStars. Tyler Austin, Kaita Sano, and Koki Kajiwara. And the first pitch to Austin is swung on and fouled away over the first base dugout. The count is quickly 0-1. Austin is 6 for 23 in the exhibition play. It gives him a .261 average. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. He has really enjoyed his time in Japan as he has had an opportunity to play. He's been now over there for a few seasons as he takes a breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike. The count's now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Austin's issue was the inability to stay healthy when he was playing in North America. His time with the Yankees cut short, and also had bounced around a little bit with some of the other teams, but not being able to stay healthy. And there was a breaking ball waved at and missed. That's the first strikeout recorded here by Takahashi as Austin's in the books for out number 1. I was going to bring up the left fielder, Kaita Sano. Well, for Sano, he's hitting .258. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. As Takahashi ready to go back to work again, Sano digs himself in. Right-hander against the left-hander. Takahashi kicks and delivers, and it's a fastball that misses just outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Just as we were talking about Bauer looking sleek and trim, Takahashi looks like he's dropped a few pounds as well. There's a breaking ball that is lifted into left field. This ball's deep, moving back onto the warning track and making the catch for the Lions is the left fielder Watanabe. He had to get on his horse and get back to the warning track, but Sano's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Koki Kajiwara. Well, for Kajiwara, he is trying to get it going for himself. He's batting .194, no homers and 3 runs driven in. As he strides to the plate, batting from the left side here against the right-hander Takahashi. Takahashi getting his sides for Koga. He's shaking him off. Now he gets something he likes. First pitch breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 1-1. Defensively tonight for the Lions from left to right field, it is Watanabe and left, the center fielder Nishikawa, and right field it's Hasegawa. Around the horn, it is Nevin at first. The second baseman tonight is Hirasawa. Shortstop is Moriyama, and the third baseman Tonosaki with the battery of Takahashi and Koga. There's a breaking ball swung on, his hit to straightaway center field. Drifting back underneath it is Nishikawa, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kajiwara. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the BayStars. They go quickly and quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the second inning. Your score is the BayStars nothing, the Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Trevor Bauer delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Leandro Cedeno that missed outside, and the count is 1-0. It is Cedeno, Watanabe, and Tonosaki to come to bat against the American right-hander here in inning number 2, as Bauer delivers a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled off the catcher Yamamoto, and it goes to the backstop, and the count is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Cedeno, in his first year in a Lions uniform, we didn't see him in the midweek. He didn't get a chance to play in the games that we called against the Carp, as he has come over from the Oryx Buffaloes after spending a couple seasons in their uniform. And there is a breaking ball swung on. This is going to be looped into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Cedeno has broken the ice. That's the first hit for either team here tonight, as he's got himself a leadoff single, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Seiya Watanabe. Well, for Watanabe, he enters the fray tonight hitting .231. He's got no homers and 6 runs driven in, as he comes to bat here to face Bauer for the first time. As he steps to the plate, Tyler Austin holding the runner. They throw over to first, and getting back easily is the big fella, Cedeno. Watanabe, who was taken with the second selection in the 2024 NPB draft. And the NPB draft is usually held after the season, so he is a rookie looking to make his mark for the Lions. And there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Lions are looking for all the options that they can possibly have. They're going into the season. It looks like Hasegawa and Nishikawa locked down the right and center field positions respectively. And then Watanabe looks like he's going to get every opportunity in left field. There was a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 1-1. We thought possibly they had listed Tyler Nevin as an outfielder. We'll see how far they run with Watanabe. Of course, Cedeno, if they use him as a DH, he can play first base as well, the big fella. So here comes the 2-0 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball that is swung on. This ball is belted foul into the netting down the left field line. He absolutely got on top of that one and hammered it, but just hook-barreled it foul. That was right up at shoulder height. Runs the count at 1-2 It turned Bauer's head around, that's for sure. So 1-2 it is here to Watanabe. He waggles the bat, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. I guess it was 2-1 strike. We had it inverted, so now it's 2-2. So 2-2 to Watanabe. As we said, we're not in mid-season form yet, but we've also found that the scorekeepers are not in mid-season form yet either. Here's the 2-2 as Bauer again holds to the set and delivers. Breaking ball down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say Watanabe didn't go. That runs the count full to the left fielder of the Lions. Cedeno is the runner at first. Nobody gone here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Now the count is full to Seiya Watanabe. As the right-hander Bauer holds to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It hits Bauer, and it deflects into the 4-hole. He couldn't get out of the way, and then it's juggled by the second baseman, but Leandro Cedeno is not going to go anywhere, as Shugo Maki is able to track it down. So Bauer, they want to come out and check on him, and he's told him get lost. Waves his glove and gives him the thumbs up. They still are going to make the tour out to see him, the proverbial tour. When the ball came back, he had turned his back, and it kind of hit him off the right hip. That'll be ruled as a base hit here for Watanabe, advancing Cedeno over to second. It'll bring Tonosaki to the plate. Interesting to see how they're going to use Tonosaki here. Normally, in a position like this in Japanese baseball, we would expect them to be bunting. But Tonosaki's been swinging a hot bat as of late. He's hitting .344 in the exhibition season, with no homers and 4 runs batted in. So Bauer in some early trouble here. So Tonosaki stepping to the dish, ready to face the first offering from the American right-hander. Bauer holds to the set. He checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Bauer did pitch 5 days ago on the 18th. He had pitched in a farm game or a second team or knee gun game, however you want to call it. He went 5 innings. He allowed a run. He struck out 7 as the 1-0 pitch is on the way. Breaking ball, that misses, and the count now goes to 2-0. But right now you can see he's not sharp quite yet. He's thrown 23 pitches so far in this ball game. 11 of them have been for balls, so 12 for strikes. He's not in a groove yet, doesn't have the command of his pitches quite yet. And his breaking balls have not been sharp. Here comes the 2-0. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. That was a much better pitch. 2-1 strike now to Tonosaki. So 2-1 strike as the right-hander holds to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right center field. And drifting over underneath it and making the catch is the right fielder. Tagging at second is Cedeno, and he's going to cruise over into third. Nice grab there by Kajiwara as that retires Tonosaki for the first out of the inning. Cedeno now over at third. Runners on the corners here, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Moriyama. Well, Moriyama has had himself a pretty good spring. He's batting .400. He's got a homer and 4 runs batted in. We saw him the other night against the Carp, and he had played obviously in place of Sosuke Genda, and then they moved him over to second base. So he looks like they might have something here. He looks the part. Whether he can always play the part will be another question. He bats from the left side here as he steps in. 4 for 10 in the exhibition season. As the right-handed Bauer holds to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Moriyama. The middle is in double play depth. The corners, third base is even with the bag. The first baseman, Austin, is holding the runner. So they'll look to try to turn themselves a pair here if they can. Get themselves out of this inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Slide step from Bauer, and it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and now the count goes to 2-0. Catcher Yuta Koga waits his turn on deck. Final game of the exhibition season here tonight, as it is the Lions and the BayStars. It will be for real starting on Friday. Hopefully you guys can join us for the season opener and for some games on the weekend. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field, and that ball is going to get down for a base hit. And cruising home easily with the first run of the game is Cedeno, and Moriyama continues his solid play. He's got himself a single and an RBI. That is going to advance Watanabe over to second, and the Lions have taken an early 1-0 lead here against the BayStars. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Yuta Koga. It's a good piece of hitting there. You can really see he did a great job of staying inside the ball. Did Moriyama, as he was able to inside it out. Nice also play by the left fielder of the BayStars, Sano, as he'd come in. He kind of feigned like he was going to catch it. He was trying to give the look that he might get it, but didn't fool Leandro Cedeno. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. They go to second for 1. Back to first, and that's going to be an easy inning-ending double play. Koga is going to want to have that back. That's going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 variety. But they do get themselves a run in the inning on the RBI single off the bat of Moriyama. 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the third. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 1 and the Yokohama DeNA BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the third inning. It'll be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat here for the BayStars. That means Yuta Yamamoto, Takuma Hayashi, and Trevor Bauer to face the right-hander Kona Takahashi. As it will be 7, 8, and 9 here. The RBI single off the bat of Moriyama, who continues his hot hitting, has given the Lions an early 1-0 lead here against the BayStars. We mentioned in the week when they played the Carp, the stands, there was only about 6,000 fans per game approximately. I would have to say here, probably more like 12 to 15 in this final exhibition game. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Yudai Yamamoto. Yamamoto batting .261, no homers and 1 run driven in here in exhibition play, 6 for 23. As he waits and takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander against the right-hander. Tonosaki working himself into the delivery, and it's a breaking ball that drops in again for a called strike. And the count now goes to 1-2. Right-hander nods in agreement with his catcher, and then he steps off the backside of the rubber because he wants to cycle through the signs again. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned about Bauer being in better shape, it looks like Tonosaki is in a little bit better shape here. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Last year when we saw him, it looked like he was a little bit thicker in the waistline and thicker in the lower half. Now, I don't know if that's because he's gone to wearing a longer pair of pants, where in the past he has worn knickers when he's played. As the 2-2 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul just past the third base coach's box. And the count remains at 2-2 to Yamamoto. Getting the right-hander ready to go back to work as he gets himself a new baseball. Gets his sign, and he works to the set position. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by Hirasawa. He throws to first, and Yamamoto is retired on a groundout 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Takuma Hayashi. Well, for Hayashi, he's hitting an even .500 in exhibition play. He's got no homers and 1 run driven in. Gets the start at shortstop here tonight. So the right-hander Takahashi, 4 for 8 for Hayashi, by the way. With that no homers and 1 RBI. Here's the pitch. It's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Hayashi waiting again. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now even at 1-1. Should you ever be fortunate enough to get to Kurazawa to see a game where the Lions play, they have food that rings the stadium. It's kind of like a bowl is the way the stadium is. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into right field, drifting back and underneath it as the right fielder Hasegawa, he's there to make the catch. That is going to retire Hayashi for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the pitcher in Trevor Bauer. Interesting tonight that the BayStars have chosen to use the pitcher's spot to hit, whereas the Lions are using the DH. It is the home team, and it is their rules. Certainly Bauer, no at-bats in the exhibition play as he was against, as he takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. They played the Oryx Buffaloes in their first game, and they used the DH in that one. So no balls and 1 strike. If you ever want yourself a good laugh, there's a fastball swung on it. His chop foul down the first base line. The count is 0-2. When Bauer was playing for the Cleveland Indians organization, he has at the plate, and he had all his teammates' batting stances imitated, and each pitch on the in-between before he ended up hitting a double down the line, he was imitating all the at-bats. There was a fastball taken for a called third strike. Bauer goes down looking on 3 pitches, and that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through 2.5. Your score is the Saitama Seibu Lions 1, Yokohama DeNA BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. The bottom of the third is just around the corner. We'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9-1 and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Lions here in the third inning. That means Taiga Hirasawa, then the top of the order in Shinya Hasegawa and Manaya Nishikawa. That would be 9-1 and 2. So that is where we stand here. Bauer coming back out. Gave up the run on 3 hits in that last inning. It was the single to lead off the inning by Cedeno, then Watanabe hitting one back off the pitcher to put runners at first and second, and then Odiyama drove home the run to make it 1-0 here for the Lions as the bottom of the third is ready to get going here. For Hirasawa, we were lamenting the other night, there is the Mendoza line, and I think we're going to now have to institute a Hirasawa line. He's batting .080 in the exhibition play. And he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. 2 for 25. Not exactly the statement that you want to make coming over from Chiba in your first year with the Lions. I know it's only exhibition, but you want to make a good impression early. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Bauer working quickly. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled off the catcher, and it goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now goes to 1-2. Curious to see if Bauer changes his tempo and pace as he is ready to go again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It gets away from the catcher Yamamoto. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hirasawa, as we said, making his Lions debut this year as he swings at a fastball and lifts his foul into the seats down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. Interesting. I thought possibly they might use Nevin at third and Tonosaki keep him at second, although Tonosaki seems to be getting the Shogo Nakamura treatment that was given to Nakamura in Chiba. The longtime second baseman had moved over to third. There was a fastball swung on and fouled back. The count remains at 2-2. I kind of figured that they might put Nevin at third and then use Cedeno at first with maybe somebody else or alternate that way, but they seem to value Hirasawa at second base. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and that's the first sword of the night that Bauer has displayed as he puts that one down. So he sticks the sword into his pocket for out number 1, and that will bring up the top of the order in right fielder Shinya Hasegawa. Some players don't necessarily mind it. Some players don't necessarily like it. There's a first pitch fastball that's taken up and in for a ball. The count is 1-0. That pitch there delivered to Hasegawa was a bit of a quick pitch. He didn't really do much of a leg lift. He just stepped right into his delivery and threw. So 1 ball and no strikes. Bauer again rocking into the windup, and again he kind of quick pitches, and that's a fastball that backs Hasegawa off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-0. Hasegawa flew out to the left fielder to begin the ball game. As they had, all the outfielders had a little bit of work. There's another pitch that goes to 3-0. So Bauer working on almost this kind of quick pitch type motion. Let's see if he changes up here at 3-0, and the pitch on the way. He's back to his conventional leg kick. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 3-1. As we said, 40 pitches now so far for Bauer, but he's not particularly been sharp, at least in our books. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to short, fielded on the backhand by the shortstop Hayashi, who throws to first. That's going to be a ground out, 6-3. That gets Hasegawa for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Manaya Nishikawa. I was just doing some quick math at our end as we were looking at the number of balls that Bauer has thrown so far in this game. And including up to now, he has 18 balls and 23 strikes. So there's a fastball that misses. So he's living kind of close to the 50% rule, which you don't want to live by if you're a pitcher at this caliber or at this level. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nishikawa. As the right-hander Bauer ready to deliver, he rocks and fires. And the pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lions with an early 1-0 lead here on the bottom of the third. Bauer delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander gets his sign from Yamamoto, and he goes back to work. Pitch is on the way, and he has this little hesitation pause. There's a pitch that is fastball swung on and chopped foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 1-2. So I have to say he's got some deceptive movements in his lower half. He's changing up his delivery. It's kind of cool to see. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander rocks into a very slow windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count now is remain at 1-2. Taking a page out of the Nestor Cortez playbook, the left-hander who's now with the Milwaukee Brewers, or probably a number of other pitchers. Here's his conventional windup, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That pitch was at 95, and the count remains at 1-2 to Nishikawa. It all gets going for real on Friday as the NPB is counting down. 5 days away in Japanese time. The first game of the season. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Another one fouled away. This time it came up and hit the hand of Nishikawa, and the count remains at 1-2. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Got him in a couple of spots. Got him in the inside of the right foot. Looked like it came up and got him in the chest. Came up and got him just below the bill of the cap. So he was playing the human piñata with himself. Here comes the 1-2 again as Bauer delivers. Fastball swung on, lined over the head of the second baseman in the right field for a base hit. Nishikawa, tip your hat to him. That was a pretty good at-bat as he was able to win it with a 2-out single here. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Tyler Nevin. Well, for Nevin, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up. Good piece of hitting there by Nishikawa. Ate a battle and to win it. And basically fought that one off and was able to nestle it over the head of the second baseman, Mackey, for a base hit. First pitch to Nevin is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Nevin's exhibition average has dropped to .324, no homers and 8 RBIs. 0 for 1 in this one here tonight. As the right-hander again holds himself to the belt. Checks the runner, and now he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Nishikawa. It's one of the rules I still like. I don't like the fact that you're limited on the pickoff attempts in Major League Baseball. It really gives a definite advantage to the base stealers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lifted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball is going to be off the wall in left center field. Playing it is Sano. He fires it in. Here comes the runner all the way from first base to score on the double by Nevin. As that is going to bring home Nishikawa. It's the second run of the ball game here for the Lions, as they have doubled their lead to 2-0. Tyler Nevin absolutely turned on that one. Double into the gap. RBI for him, his 9th of the exhibition season. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Leandro Cedeno. So you might as well get it out of the way now if you're Bauer. He's not been particularly sharp tonight. He was up in the zone early. It looked like he started to settle down a little bit in the second inning. But he is still missing with his pitches up. And when you miss with the pitches up, you better learn how to back up bases, because the hitters in this league can still swing the bat a bit as well. So that brings Leandro Cedeno to the plate. He scored the first run of the ball game for the Lions. He is 1 for 1 He takes a breaking ball inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Looked like Bauer was going to cruise through this inning. He got the first 2 outs, and then Nishikawa had that marathon at bat. Won it with a single, and then back-to-back hits have produced a second run. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, chopped foul over on the third base side. The count now is 1-1 to Cedeno. Don't forget to check out our podcast. We started putting them out. It is a whole different animal doing a podcast versus calling a game. Calling a game is a lot easier. You get to describe the action as it's in front of you. Doing a podcast, you're talking to yourself most of the time. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. It's now 1-2 to Cedeno. Or at least the way we formatted it. We did do an interview with Eric Fox, so if you're interested in that, Eric, we got 3 more interviews that we're going to do with him and we'll produce over the next few weeks. So hopefully you guys will get an opportunity to tune into that. Talked about his playing days. We'll get into his coaching a bit. There's a breaking ball that swung on and it is lifted foul down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2 to Cedeno. We're also going to talk about his international play. He got a chance to play with Team USA in Japan. He also played in Puerto Rico and the Mexican leagues, and also played in Venezuela with the national program in the United States. As the 1-2 pitch is ready to go, as Bauer kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Bauer ready to go again. Runner at second, Nevin, 2 gone here in the third. Cedeno waiting on the 2-2 offering as the pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field, coming in hard, but it's going to get down. And that is going to bring in the third run of the game, it looks like, as the throw comes into the plate, and it's not in time. Leandro Cedeno with an RBI single. Nevin running hard all the way around from second. Scores the second run of the inning, and that is a 3-0 lead here for the Lions. And that'll bring up the left fielder in Seiya Watanabe. And for Watanabe, well, he's 1 for 1 tonight. Got a single his last time up. So good for Cedeno. He needs to get going into the season. The first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Watanabe. Takeya Nakamura getting the night off tonight for the Lions. I would think when he's in the lineup, that would mean that Cedeno would be at first base. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. They certainly have some big boys in the middle of the lineup. With Cedeno and Nakamura, that would be quite an offensive line. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 2-1 on Watanabe. Watanabe had hit that ball foul, that pitch that was up around his eyeballs. He drilled it into the netting. In his first at bat, and then he was able to bleed a single down. So here comes the 2-1 pitch from Bauer as he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it, has popped up. Yamamoto puts his hands in the air. He didn't see where it went, but it is going to get well into the stands on the first base side, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 3-0. All the damage done here with 2 outs. A single, a double, and a single for the Lions here have put them in front 3-0. Bauer at 61 pitches now already. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, taken for a called third strike. Watanabe, he stood there like the house by the side of the road, watched it go by for out number 3. I don't know if Bauer did a sword there, but when you're down 3-0, I think it's time to put your sword away and get back to work. 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now a third of the ball game in the books. Your score is the Lions 3 and the BayStars. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be the top of the batting order to come to bat here for the BayStars. That means Abina, Maki, and Mamori to face the right-hander Kona Takahashi. Abina was not a starter in tonight's game. In fact, he came in for Masayuki Kuwahara, who was hit by a pitch. He came in to run for him and stayed in the ball game. And the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. So he does not have an appearance at the plate against Takahashi yet. He is 8 for 41 in exhibition play, batting 195, no homers and a couple RBIs as he swings and lifts that one foul into the seats over on the first base side of home plate. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Takahashi getting his sign from his catcher, Yuto Koga. And now he is ready to go back to work again here. 0-2 to Abina, as he kicks and delivers a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Abina's in the books. That was man against boy right there, as Abina's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. And by our account tonight, that would be the 4th strikeout recorded by Takahashi. So for Maki tonight, he's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up against the big right-hander, as he is ready to go back to work again. He kicks and delivers. It was a fastball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0. We were speculating before. He's 2-0 in the exhibition season, and Takahashi hadn't won a ball game, and it was in something crazy like, I don't know, it's 500, 600 days. So that fastball swung on and belted into the netting foul down the left field line, and the count is 1-1. Prior to the 2024 season, he had expressed interest, and he told the Lions, or he asked the Lions if he could be posted for Major League Baseball. And he did not get that opportunity. He came out and absolutely pitched as bad as one could pitch last year. I mean, there were times he was okay. The Lions weren't very good, but he was 0-13. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. And I often wondered if he was pouting last year when he came into the season. You know, sometimes guys are not in the right frame of mind. And as that happened, he really put himself behind the 8 ball. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-2. So not getting the opportunity to be posted. Sometimes guys pout, don't get their way, and I just speculating if that would have been the case with Takahashi. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, as it's a fastball swung on it, is grounded to the right side, or is it lined? It looked like it might have been taken just off the shoe tops, as Tyler Nevin moving to his right. That's a heck of a defensive play. Thought that ball was on the ground. We'll look at that one again. That ball was absolutely lined right to Nevin. Get a look on the replay, and he makes a beautiful play on the backhand side for the second out of the inning. Maki hit that ball hard right on the screws. He's gone for out number 2, and that brings Masaki Momori to the plate. And for Momori, well, he is 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play his first time up. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Coming in underneath it and camping out to make the catch is Nishikawa, and that is going to do it. Indirectly, 12 in a row retired here now by Takahashi. As there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 4. Your score is the Lions 3 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for dropping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel for Exhibition Baseball. We'll be right back after this. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We're skipping to the bottom half of inning number 4. It'll be Tonosaki, Moriyama, and Koga to come to bat here to face Trevor Bauer in his 4th inning of work. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Bauer will probably be fired up after the game. He always talks about that he can't sleep. He's usually jacked up from the energy or from this here. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As he kind of doesn't do a full leg kick, he sort of slide steps. He's playing with some different stuff. That pitch was a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count's now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bauer again rocking into the windup and delivering. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and tapped foul over on the first base side of home plate. Now the count goes to 1-2 on Tonosaki. Tonosaki enjoying himself a nice spring, as he had entered the ballgame hitting .344, 0 for 1 tonight as he flew out to right field. But that'll be a lot of confidence for him, dropping down in the batting order. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and he has gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. I think about it, Tonosaki was in the 2nd, 3rd spots last year, and not that he didn't deserve to be there. It was probably his talents are not necessarily in that spot. Certainly had a better year in 2023 than he did last year. His power numbers were down last year. His stolen bases were down last year, which is something to have to keep an eye on. If his numbers decline again, is he on the decline? There was a fastball that was taken for a called strike, or maybe it was a off year last year if he was battling some niggling injuries. Sometimes that has a way of showing up. Moriyama has a single and an RBI tonight. He drove in the first run of the game for the Lions as he takes a breaking ball in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Bauer rocking into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is hit softly over to Maki, who fields it in shallow right field. They throw to first. Nice job there by Tyler Austin to hold the bag. That certainly was not a Gold Glove play at second base on the throw, but it is going to put Moriyama in the books on a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Yuta Koga. I think Maki might have thought that he had more time. That wasn't very good at his end. He probably needed to make a little bit better play on that. But they do get the out, and Koga comes to the plate, who's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded into a double play his first time up, and he takes a 94-mile-an-hour fastball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Koga has enjoyed a nice spring. He's hitting .348. As there's a breaking ball that misses down. Bauer, disgusted, turned away, and the catcher Yamamoto was ready to throw it back. Had to do a double clutch. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Bauer rocking himself into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. It was with 2 out when Bauer had all the trouble in the last half inning. Allowing back-to-back-to-back base hits. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into straightaway center field. Started in and then moved back with Zabina as that ball did carry. But that is going to retire Koga for the 3rd out of the inning as they go quietly here in inning number 4. Do the Lions. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. We are now through 4 complete. Your score is the Lions 3, the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Whether you listen live or on delay, it's great to have you with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Tyler Austin, Kaida Sano, and Koki Kajiwara to come to the plate here to face Kona Takahashi. 36 pitches through 4 innings for the Lions right-hander. He has been very economical as he has faced the minimum. He hit the leadoff batter, and then they retired him in a double play. He has 4 strikeouts through the 4 innings so far, but he has yet to allow a knock here in this one. So Austin steps in. He is hitting .250 now in the exhibition play, 6 for 24 with a homer and a couple RBIs. As Takahashi delivers a first pitch fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Ball and no strikes. Tyler Austin, as you probably saw from that last graphic that we had up, was a top hitter in the Central League last year. Average home runs. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Seen a lot of breaking balls tonight from Takahashi. I don't remember seeing a whole lot of his split fingers. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander works to the set. He kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say that Austin didn't go. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Takahashi getting his sign from his catcher and ready to go back at it here with Austin. Austin really crowds the plate. He's got both feet up on the chalk line. There's a breaking ball swung on, and he fouls that into his lead shin, which is, for him, thankfully, he's got the shin guard on. There's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kaida Sano waiting his turn on deck. I'll be curious tonight to see if some of the players will stay in the game. Last night it was The game that we watched between the Swallows and the Fighters. The starting center fielder for the Swallows left the game with an injury. We'll be curious to see if he is going to be out for some time as that pitch misses down. That's the split finger we were talking about. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Austin. Xiaomi had come in to try to make a play and looked like he got his cleats caught in the grass type turf and ended up going down and ended up costing the Swallows a run. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's hammered into the left field corner. That's the first base hit of the BayStars, going in and digging it out as the left fielder Watanabe, and that is going to be a stand-up double here for Austin to begin the 5th inning. So the BayStars with their first hit of the night, a stand-up double by Tyler Austin to get things going here in the 5th, and that's going to bring up the left fielder Kaitosano. That ball was a missile. That thing there was absolutely rocketed. Stayed inside the line. As he is making his acknowledgments around, tipping his cap. So Kaitosano coming to the plate 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. He is hitting .250 in the exhibition play, 8 for 32. No homers and 3 runs driven in as the right-hander Takahashi delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander Takahashi ready to go back at it again. Here comes the offering to the left-handed hitting Sano as he works set, checks the runner at second, now delivers. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. All games are currently underway across the NPB tonight. Some of the games started at 1 o'clock local time, some at 1:30, and then some at 2 o'clock. This one was a 2 o'clock start. There's a fastball swung on his tap slowly over to second. Hirasawa fields it. He underhand flips it to first. It's a ground out 4-3 that retires Sano. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. It's going to advance Austin over to third. That'll bring up the right fielder in Koki Kajiwara. Just looking at that out-of-town scoreboard, we have in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Fighters and the Swallows are locked at 2. Fighters have jumped out to an early 2-0 lead. Swallows have clawed back. Bottom of the 3rd inning at the Tokyo Dome, the Marines and the Giants are locked at 1s. Top of the 5th inning at the Vantolin Dome, 2-1 for the Eagles over the Dragons. Top of the 7th at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, it's 2-1 for the Buffaloes over the Tigers. Bottom of the 4th inning at the Mazda Stadium in Hiroshima, 0-0 with the Carp and the Hawks. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Kajiwara. Of course, this game here is 3-0 Lions. Lions got to Bauer with 1 in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander Takahashi works himself to the set position and now pitches. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. It drifts into the seats, and the count is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. There's 1 gone here in the 5th inning. The runner at 3rd is Austin. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sano. As Takahashi works himself to the set position, here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball's line down the left field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it's just going to slice foul. That runs the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kajiwara gets back to the plate, ready to go again here, ready to face the offering from the right-hander Takahashi. Yudai Yamamoto waits his turn on deck. Takahashi has the hitter here in the hole. It'd be a big strikeout here if he could bag him in this at bat. There's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded foul just past the bag at third base. Count remains at 1-2. Yeah, he's going to have to go get himself a new piece of lumber, is Kajiwara. As on that pitch there, you could see on the replay, couldn't see it on the live play, but on the replay, there were splinters flying everywhere. So that bat is no longer going to be in existence. So now Kajiwara steps to the plate here, ready to go again against right-hander Takahashi. It's interesting. They've got the right side of the infield is deep. The left side of the infield is up on the proverbial grass. As Takahashi holds to the set position, here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way, it's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now goes even to 2-2. So yeah, so kind of interesting that they had defensive alignment. I guess on the left side, anything that is there, they're going to try to cut him off. On the right side, they'll trade the run for the out. Maybe they're not expecting Kajiwara to be able to pull the pitch here, and if he does, it is going to be something soft, and they'll trade the run for the out. Here's the 2-2. It is a split finger swung on, and this one's chopped foul past the first base coach's box, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We always kind of look at the mark. If they can get through 5 innings in an hour and a half, we're in good shape. Last night's game just seemed to go on forever. A 3-hour and 45-minute affair. There's a fastball swung on. This is grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Kajiwara is going to get himself an RBI single. That's going to cash in Austin. And the BayStars are on the board here for the first time tonight. The score is now 3-1 on an RBI single off the bat of Kajiwara. That's going to bring up Yudai Yamamoto to the plate. Curious here to see if they will let Bauer swing the bat again if it is his turn to come to bat. He is slated in the 9-hole here. Be interested to see if it does go to Bauer or not. Start wondering a little bit if they're going to play chess or if they actually want to get Bauer some more work. He was north of 60 pitches in that last inning. At least through 4. It was an easy inning. There is a breaking ball that misses outside. Count is 1-0 to Yamamoto. Yamamoto grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. So the catcher, Koga, flashes the signs to Takahashi. And Takahashi ready to go back to work here. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 2-0. Interesting kind of setup. I'm not really sure how to think about this, is that Takahashi, he starts off where he's got the ball in his hand down by the side. It almost looks like he has an extra movement going on here, but I guess the umpires don't see anything wrong with it. I'll have to keep an eye on this here. He works to the set. Looks like it was pretty decent that time. Here's the pitch. There is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. In the last game that Bauer had the outing in the Kyocera Dome, Bauer was pretty upset with a balk call that was called against him because he felt that he had told the umpires he was working from the windup. But no such acceptance in the Japanese rule book. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Kajiwara. There is a Japanese umpire who is in the minor leagues, and he chimed in on it in North America and basically saying that they got to get everybody on the same page with that kind of rule. So I'm sure in the offseason that will be discussed. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, but instead Takahashi flicks it over to first base, and diving back in time is Kajiwara. Tyler said he had to go, but did Bauer get shelled? Well, he's given up 3 runs so far in the 4 innings, and some of it's his own doing. In the 3rd inning, after getting the first 2 outs, he gave up back-to-back hits that cost him a pair of runs. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. He's not been sharp tonight, as we commented on. I'm not sure pitch total-wise where he's at. Actually, he was at 62 pitches through 3. 73 pitches through the 4 innings, and he was running just over 50% strikes, and that's not going to get the job done at this level. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, lined into right field. It's down for a base hit, and they got a chance to get the runner at first, and they do. Unbelievable play. Oh my goodness. He hit the ball right on the screws, did the catcher Yamamoto. They're going to go up and have a look at this to see if he did get thrown out. If it is the case, it's going to be a put out 9-3, so he's not going to get a hit on this. Safe at second base regardless is Kajiwara. I haven't seen a play like that in a while in Major League Baseball. You're always good for 1 or 2 a year, but he hit that ball right on the screws, right to Hasegawa. Hasegawa came up throwing, and he threw a 1-hopper to first base. Nice play there by Tyler Nevin to pick it. Umpires are going to go down through the tunnel to have a look at this one. We've seen a couple of crazy plays in the last couple of nights. We're going to go look at the replay here. He goes inside out on the ball, hits the ball on 1 hop to the right fielder, who comes up throwing to first. It was 1-2 hops. Oh, I think he's done. I think he's out. We're going to have to take another angle on this. Yeah, I think he's out. I think that Yamamoto is going to be, he'll get some teasing from his teammates on that one. Get a different angle on it, and all the angles are pointing. They're going to come up with the right hand and agree with the call. I'd be shocked if that was overturned. Yep, I think he's dead meat at first base. And here comes the umpire, and it is the right hand, so that's going to be, they're going to record that as a ground out. 9-3 on the putout. Yeah, 9-3. I'll look at that in a few months and say, what happened here? Now, he's in the books. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Takuma Hayashi. So Hayashi steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown to right field his only trip to the plate. So that's a big out there for Kona Takahashi. That's the right-hander ready to go again. Works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. On the way, it is a breaking ball taken for a strike. He squared the bunt, did Hayashi, but he pulled back and took the pitch at the knees for a strike. Hayashi now 4 for 9 in exhibition play, batting .444 with no homers and an RBI. Still laughing about that play. So no balls and 1 strike. Lions, based on their exhibition play, have played pretty well. Don't be fooled by that, though. I don't know if that's sustainable or not. As that fastball swung on, lifted into deep left center field. Moving back on it to make the catch is Nishikawa, and that is going to do it. Hayashi's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the inning. They had 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 5. It's the Lions 3 and the BayStars 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the 5th inning when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for being with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters slated to come to bat for the Lions here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Taiga Hirasawa, Shinya Hasegawa, and Banaya Nishikawa to face the right-hander Trevor Bauer, who will come back out for his 5th inning of work. One would expect that this will probably be his last inning of work, as I would think that they are probably going to be moving to the bullpen. He has 73 pitches, as we mentioned, and the first pitch is a fastball swung on, is belted into right field, and it's going to get down off the wall, fielded neatly off the wall by the right fielder. Oh, what a play, and what a throw there by the right fielder Kajiwara. Sliding into second safely and barely with a leadoff double is Taiga Hirasawa. So Hirasawa absolutely scorched that one. Our friend Tyler was in here a little bit earlier and he was asking about Bauer and how Bauer was pitching tonight. I have to say, I'm not really impressed with his stuff tonight. I don't know if he's got a lot of movement on the pitches. He's been up in the zone. It's not been Bauer stuff. He's been very hittable. That's the 7th hit so far given up here as time has been called. So they are flashing some signs, and see if they're in a bunt situation here as Hasegawa, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out and flown out. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that's swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Count is 0-1. Tyler says Bauer getting humbled again here tonight. Yeah, just tonight. I mean, here's at the end of the day, it's the exhibition season, so he's going to have to ramp it up. And you remember when he was there the first time, he ended up being an all-star, and he ended up having a pretty good season until he got hurt. Just he had a little bit of a challenge in the first couple of games to get himself sorted. Here's the 0-1. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-2. Yeah, that's the one thing. Bauer's tricky stuff gets less tricky the older he gets. So certainly there's a lot of movement on his pitches tonight that I would expect to see. I don't think he's been as sharp as what we would expect or what he would expect. And sometimes you have to clean that up a bit. He just can't get it over the plate. Other thing is, too, is it might do him well. I remember an interview with Carter Stewart a few years ago from Fukuoka. He was talking about the difference between the Japanese hitters and the North American or the hitters from our side of the pond. There's a ground ball up the middle. It's going to get past the diving shortstop into center field, rounding third and heading home and scoring the run, but they cut it off and the throw goes into second base. And out is Hasegawa trying to stretch a single into a double. So he's got a single. He's got an RBI. He is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. It is going to go in the books as 8. I believe it's going to go 8-3 to 6. I'll have to get a quick look at the cutoff there to see where that was made, but it is going to be the 4th run of the ball game scored by the Lions as Hirasawa comes all the way around. Yeah, it was Tyler Austin picking it off and gunning it down to second base. And squaring to bunt here, and he tries to push it down the third base line is Nishikawa, but he bunts that one foul, and the count is 0-1. Yeah, sometimes you get older, and what ends up happening is you've got a situation where you don't maybe have the command, control, sometimes aren't as sharp as you are. But no balls and 1 strike it is here as the right-hander ready to go again. And he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nishikawa batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing BayStars starter as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count now to 1-2. But back to Carter Stewart, one of the things he said, the difference in the Japanese league versus playing in North America, he couldn't walk the ladder and blow the hitters away. The hitters with 2 strikes, even less, they're very good with their hands. They're able to get the bat to the ball and just battle you off, flick it away. There's a perfect example there as Nishikawa swings and fouls that off down the left field line, and the count is going to remain at 1-2. But they just flick it away, flick it away, flick it away, do whatever they can to put the ball in play. It's definitely a different approach, and it's definitely different than what the North American mindset has become and what they expect from their hitters at the professional level. There's a breaking ball that misses down. And I got to say, I don't necessarily agree with that. You look at the way that the game is being taught in North America at the professional level, or you watch how the game is played, everybody's trying to play the game the same way in certain contexts. And there's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Nishikawa for the second out of the inning. And what I mean by that is when you look at teams like Oakland or you look at teams like Tampa, how they are revolutionizing the game, certainly in Tampa with the pitching, and then how they value their offensive players is completely different than maybe other teams will value their offensive players. But at the end of the day, they're still playing a lot of it where they're still looking for a 3-run homer. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner on Tyler Nevin, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nevin. Nevin has a double and an RBI tonight. He's also flown out to center field. As Bauer kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and this is going to be lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Another thing, too, is Tyler had mentioned here, there's been times that Bauer has looked good. Like he had the retired side 1-2-3 in the first and the fourth. Was on the way to doing that in the third as well. There's a fastball that swung on and is lined over the head of the leaping third baseman into left field. Nevin's going to round first and head into second with another double. And that's kind of the way it is here, too. He's got 2 outs here, and then the next thing you know, nobody on, and Nevin with 2 strikes on him absolutely hits a P-Rod. That's way too good a pitch. 4-seam fastball left over it was middle in here to Nevin. He just turned on that and scorched it over the head of the third baseman, Momori. So Nevin enjoying a pretty good spring. If he continues to play like that, the Lions fans are going to really, really like him. So Nevin gets his lead over at second base. Brings Leandro Cedeno to the plate, who is 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles and an RBI. He's also scored a run. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 0-1. Cedeno now 5 for 17 in exhibition plays, hitting .294. Not too shabby considered he started at 3 for 15 tonight. Cedeno, if he can produce even a little bit better than what he did in Buffalo uniform, they're going to be happy to have him in the Lions camp. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count's now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. One thing I did notice compared to earlier in the week, the players today, not as many sleeves today, a little bit warmer weather. Fastball misses outside. It's now 1-2 to Cedeno. A lot of the players in the game was against the Carp had sleeves under their jerseys, but a lot of the players tonight have chosen to go sleeveless. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as Bauer holds set. This is his 90th pitch of the ball game. He kicks and delivers a fastball that misses way upstairs. That was at 95. That was one of the harder pitches he's thrown tonight. He reared back. I guess he was trying to show everybody he's still got gas in the tank here in the 5th inning. I'd be shocked if he rolled out another inning. But knowing Trevor Bauer, and if he's lobbying the manager, he might be out for yet another. So 2 balls, 2 strikes as the right-hander works to the set. Checks the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball, that misses upstairs. Bauer started to make his way over to the first base dugout, but the home plate umpire didn't bring that. That was a knuckle curve. I don't think we've seen that tonight. If we haven't picked up on it. That's where his pointer finger was knuckled down on the ball. That was probably one of the better breaking balls he's thrown tonight as well. So 3 balls, 2 strikes as he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2 to Cedeno. It all gets going for real on Friday night, and hopefully you guys can join us for all the action, as we will be doing a season opening game, and we haven't quite decided who that will be. We'll look at all the starting pitchers as it is, and we'll try to get ourselves something decent there. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4, and Cedeno is going to be aboard for the 3rd time tonight. He draws the walk. It's going to bring Seibu Watanabe to the plate. So with 2 gone here, the Lions are threatening to add more onto the board with 2 out. And that looks like it's the end of the night for Cedeno. We're going to have a pinch runner for him over at first base. He gets a well-deserved high fives all the way around. We'll get the number of the runner as it comes available. Looks like it's number 67, Daiji Nomura. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I would think Daiji Nomura will stay in the game to DH as well. That's been a bit of a pattern we've seen. So no balls and 1 strike to Watanabe. Bauer kicks and delivers again. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Well, I wonder how Bauer is going to set this guy up, because in his first at bat, he got a shoulder-high fastball that he absolutely turned on and drilled it into the netting down the left field line. Bauer kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. And Watanabe is down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight, and that is going to do it. But the BayStars get a run back in the inning. They got 1 run on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're going to take our extended break here, as we like to call it, our Japanese halftime. It is 4-1 for the Lions. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us here tonight. We'll be back in just a bit. We'll put the music on loop. We'll be back after this. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change here as Trey Wingenter has just completed his warm-up tosses for the Lions, making his 6th appearance of exhibition play. And he will be facing a pinch hitter as it's going to be number 55. And that will be Inoue coming to you bat. 55. This is Kento Inoue as he will pinch hit here for Trevor Bauer. Bauer's night will be done. So Kento Inoue in to pinch hit. So Wingenter in his 5th appearance, yet to allow an earned run as he throws a fastball at 97 right by Inoue. Welcome to the ballgame, Inoue. You're 0-1 in the hole. That pitch was brought up really quick. He has yet to allow a earned run in the appearances that he's had. There's another fastball. This one at 98. On the radar gun, and the count is 0-2. So I think if I am Wingenter, I'm just going at him with good old-fashioned hardball. And another one, he's going to walk the ladder a little bit. If you believe the signal here from Koga, one would think he is probably going to do that. Ooh, there's a fastball that misses inside. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think I'd be just pounding him right away here until he shows me that he can do something or anything at all. As the hitter has been behind in the pitches here. Here's the pitch. Yep, there's the high fastball, and it swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. I really don't know what else Wingenter has in his arsenal. I don't remember him as much with the Tigers. I know he was there for a cup of coffee. He spent time with the Red Sox organization, Padres as well. So we'll see what else he has up his sleeves as the 1-2 pitch is ready to come. He kicks and delivers. It is a split-finger pitch that swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Koga has to pick it up and throw it. It's going to go down as a strikeout 2-3 in the books as Inoue is gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the top of the order in Tetsuo Ibina. Thought it was a splitty, but it actually was more of a 12-6 breaking ball or maybe even a knuckle curve. That was able to get Inoue waving. So Wingenter has retired the first batter he's faced. That brings up Ibina to the plate. As we mentioned, Ibina came into the ball game as he was hit, as it was the leadoff hitter, Kuwahara, was hit by a pitch. He left the game. And Ibina came in to run for him as he check swings and fouls that pitch off over on the right field line. And the count is quickly 0-1. That was a bit of a self-defense swing. Could not hold it up. 8 for 42 in exhibition play, batting 190. Ibina will be more than likely starting the season with the farm club. Well, we say that, at least before the game. So there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. We might want to just pump our tires on that, depending upon what the status of Kuwahara is. If Kuwahara ended up breaking a bone, as it did hit his right hand, and specifically the top hand on the bat, and it was a thumb that looked like it was exposed. If he ends up where he's injured, well, that might open a door again for Ibina as Ibina swings through a fastball, and applying the tag is the catcher Koga. That's going to be a strikeout here. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's the second time tonight Ibina has gone down on strikes. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Shugo Maki. So Wingenter is just rearing back and throwing some good old-fashioned heat. So 2 gone here in the top of the 6th inning, and the right-hander again working himself to the set position. Kicks and fires. There's a fastball that just misses low for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Maki tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out, and he has popped the first in his 2 trips. As the right-hander again gets the sign, and he works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball that misses down. Peel over to the first base umpire, but they say Maki didn't go, and the count is now 2-0. That's probably some home cooking or a veteran call, maybe, so to speak, as Maki would get those type of honors. So 2 balls and no strikes. He does have a bit of an open stance. He extends his arms, Mackey. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted. This ball is hit into left field, and this ball has gone out in a hurry as Wingenter has served up a solo shot. And that is going to cut the lead now here to 4-2. Oh boy, Shugo Maki wasted no time introducing himself to Wingenter, and Wingenter, all he can do is kind of chuckle as he walks around the mound. Well, get used to it because you're not facing the second team of the Hiroshima Carp. Shugo Maki is one of the best hitters in the Central League. That ball left in a hurry. Our friend Titus is in the house. Welcome from the land of the rising sun. Full slate of games in the NPB, but we hope you're with us on opening day. We haven't selected the game we're going to call yet. We are going to do a primer as we'll do the Athletics and the Mariners Major League Baseball opening day on Thursday, North American time. And there is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Masaki Momori. Momori 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded into a double play and flown to center field in his 2 trips. Yeah, we're not doing so bad. It's been a bit of a busy time, and we're right now, I have to say, Titus, that it's kind of good. We're pumping the tires a little bit. There's another knuckle curve swung at and missed, and the count is now 0-2. But we got a couple of days off here. Next weekend, going to call the 3 games, and then going to make my way down the I-5. Going to go to Seattle and catch the Mariners and the A's on Sunday. A week from tomorrow, North American time, or a week from today, Japan time. And then I'll stick around and catch the Tigers and the Mariners on Monday. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Momori on strikes. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But the BayStars get one back on the solo shot off the bat of Shugo Maki. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning, it is a 4-2 Lions lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for ducking in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Everybody, welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the 6th inning, bottom half. It is going to be Sakamoto, the left-hander, coming on in relief of Trevor Bauer as the Yokohama DeNA BayStars are going to their pen. It is Yuya Sakamoto. So he is coming on, and he will be slated to face Tonosaki, Moriyama, and Koga. So we'll see what he has to offer. So Yuya Sakamoto in, Trevor Bauer out, and Shida Tonosaki stepping up to the plate here, ready to face the left-hander for the first time here in this one. And the pitch from Sakamoto is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. Tonosaki I don't know if he was particularly happy with the call there. He's flown to right and struck out. Did a little tour of the batter's box before getting himself set. There is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-1. Definitely sometimes if you're a hitter and you're not happy with the call, there's some subtle ways that you can let the umpire know without actually having to say something. As the 1-1 pitch is missed upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the left-hander working to the set position. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Sakamoto ready to deliver again. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's run full to Tonosaki. 4-2 for the Lions as they have the lead over the BayStars here in the 6th inning. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over to third, fielded neatly by Momori. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Tonosaki on a ground out. Goes in the books 5-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Motoyama. Well, for Motoyama, he has enjoyed himself another good spring training game here. He's 1 for 2 in this one. Raised his spring average to .417. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. He singled and drove home a run in the 2nd inning. As the pitch is a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Very interested to see how they're going to deploy him. As there's a fastball swung on it, is lined into center field past the glove of the shortstop. And that is another good piece of hitting there by Motoyama. He's aboard with a single. That is going to bring up the catcher, Yuto Koga. So good piece of hitting there as he was able to stay back on the ball and inside out the other way. Motoyama aboard with a single, and that brings Koga to the plate. Or is it going to bring Koga? It looks like we have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Takeya Nakamura. So Koga's night will be finished. Big fella coming into bat. And the first pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. I would expect if Nakamura is not DHing, he will be doing a lot of this pinch hitting type role for the Lions this year. As we said earlier, there's some big fellas in that lineup with Nakamura and Cedeno. If they weren't playing baseball, they could probably anchor an offensive line in American football, as there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to the big fella. Left-hander Sakamoto holds set. Now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is golfed into left field. But it's going to hang up enough for left center field as the center fielder had moved over to make the catch. Ibina had called off. Sano was able to run it down. So that is going to retire Nakamura for the 2nd out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman Taiga Hirasawa. Well, for Hirasawa, he got off the schneid. He's now 3 for 27 now. Pulled his average up to 111. He had a double and scored a run in the 5th inning. Pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down. The count is 1-0. He really struggled entering into tonight's affair. He was 2 for 25. Tonight he's 1 for 2 with that double. And he absolutely scorched it into the right field corner. There is a fastball that catches the inside corner for called strike. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the lefty Sakamoto holds to the set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I often wonder how sensitive the microphone is. We've been playing with the adjustments on it here. Hopefully you guys are able to pick up some good sounds from us as that pitch is swung on and missed. It is taken in the dirt, picked up, and they have to throw to first. It's going to be a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. That's going to do it for the third out of the inning, and that'll do it here for the Lions in their half of the sixth. Looks like we'll have another pitching change. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the Yokohama DeNA BayStars 4, the Lions 4, and the BayStars 2. We'll be back with the 7th inning in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a lefty on the hill here for the Lions. This is going to be Shinsuke Sato, number 19, as he is taking over here for the reliever Trey Wingenter. And we also have a change behind the plate. It is Jinjiro Simatani. So he is going to come on here to catch the rest of the way, one would have to think. As Takia Nakamura had come in to pinch hit for Koga, now Simatani in on the back end. And it'll be Tyler Austin, Kaitasano, and Koki Kujiwara slated to come to bat here against the lefty. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving back and underneath it, with there to make the catch, is the right fielder. And that is Hasegawa. We'll put that away. 1 pitch, 1 away here. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Kaitasano. Well, for Sano, he is 0 for 2. He has flown to left and grounded to second in his 2 trips to the plate. Batting from the left side here as the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that just misses a bit low, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. Sato holds to the set and now delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty again leading in and holding himself to the set. As the 2-0 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on it. Is chopped over to second. Fielded neatly by Hirasawa. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Sano on a ground out, 4-3. So 2 up and 2 in the books, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Koki Kujiwara. Looking at the standings in the exhibition play, the Kaido Nippon Ham Fighters ended up with the best record in the exhibition play. As there is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Kajiwara. They are 9-3-3. I don't know if that included tonight's ball game. I don't think it is, because it's still in the 8th inning, tied at 4. So no matter what happens, they'll still finish ahead of the Swallows. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. It counts 1-1 to Kajiwara. Swallows were the second best team, and then the Saitama Seibu Lions right there with them, as they were nestled in the third spot. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2. So Lions playing good ball in the exhibition season, and realistically, they're going to need to take that with them and those good feelings going into the regular season, because last year they were absolutely putrid for the first 4 months of the season. There's no other way to describe it. They were on pace to potentially lose 100 games, but tip your hat to the Lions. They started to play some good ball late August and through the month of September, so they were able to salvage something for the season. As that fastball misses outside, the count's 2-2. So one would have to think that this year they're probably going to try to add some building blocks. It really wasn't their pitching, it's their offense that scuffled. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. It goes all the way to the backstop, and the count is now 3-2 on Kajiwara. So Sato reaches for the rosin bag and ready to go back at it. Here's the 3-2 pitch. On the way, breaking ball swung on, lifted into left field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, but it's just going to slice foul. It's the second time tonight, I think, that Kajiwara has gone the other way, and the ball has sliced into foul territory. It looks like he may have to go get himself another new piece of lumber as he makes his way back to the dugout. Full count it remains. 2 gone here in the top of the 7th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the right fielder of the BayStars. And here comes the payoff pitch as he delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this one's tap foul over on the first base side of home plate. The count remains at 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Quiet night tonight on the Last Raps channel with not a lot of people checking in, but we expect that turn to turn on the weekend next weekend as that fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2 to Kajiwara. I haven't really looked at the schedule for next week in terms of matchups. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4, and so Kajiwara has worked himself a walk. And if my math is correct, that would have been a 10-pitch at bat. I have to go back and take a look there if that is the case, or if it was 9 and maybe my coloring of the balls weren't so good. It took 4 pitches to retire the first 2 hitters. And it was a 9-pitch at bat there that drew the walk for Kajiwara. So that brings up to the plate Yudai Yamamoto. Yamamoto tonight 0 for 2 as he takes a fastball upstairs, and that's 1 ball and no strikes. There'll be Lions and Fighters. It'll be Buffaloes and Eagles, and it'll be Hawks and Marines. We haven't decided which one we're going to do. We're leaning either towards the Lions and the Fighters, or possibly as that fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Yamamoto. Or possibly the Carp and the Tigers. We'll have to check the weather on that. Obviously, the game would be at 2 in the morning Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern. Either one of those 2 games, we'll make a decision on that as it gets closer. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count's 2-1. If we go with the Carp and the Tigers, then the question there is the weather. What will the weather be like on Friday? If we go with the Lions and the Fighters, that's a safe bet. It'll be opening night under the dome. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball misses outside. It's now 3-1 to Yamamoto. So Sato, who made quick work of the first 2 batters, has got himself into some trouble here. Trying to find a way to get the 3rd out of the inning. And then once it gets to the weekend, we'll spread it around a little bit. We're going to try to get some different games in. There's a fastball that swung on. It is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is actually left center field. Over underneath it is the center fielder, Nishikawa, who calls the left fielder off, and he's going to retire Yamamoto for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the BayStars in their half of the seventh. We're expecting another pitching change. No runs, no hits, no errors, one runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom half of the seventh. It is 4-2 for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after these.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We do know baseball, and we're glad that you guys are with us here tonight. A light crowd, but that is what we have. And it'll be the top of the order to come to bat here for the Lions in their half of inning number 7. Slated to come to bat will be Hasegawa, Nishikawa, and Nevin. As the Yokohama DeNA BayStars have gone back to their bullpen, they have called on a right-hander this time. It's going to be number 13, Hiromo Issei, and he is coming on in relief, the third pitcher used. So Hiromo Issei on in relief, as this will be the third pitcher used tonight by the BayStars. Well, he's slated to face Hasegawa, Nishikawa, and Nevin. We'll see how the Lions come to bat here, as we would expect that they may be doing some substitutions as well as this one moves along. Probably trying to get them another at-bat in before we start to see the substitutions flowing out. Here comes the first offering from Issei. It's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander rocking himself into the motion again, and he's ready to rock and deliver. Issei delivers a fastball. Another one swung on, and this one fouled straight back, and the count is 0-2 to Hasegawa. Hasegawa waggling the bat as the right-hander Issei working himself into the motion, and he delivers a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Issei wasting no time here. Some of the relievers come in and take forever as he delivers a breaking ball that is chopped foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. God is Great says, what is opening day in the States? It is Thursday. So that is the openers are on Thursday. So we're going to call the Athletics and the Mariners on Thursday evening. That'll be at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. That'll be by, I think, 11 a.m. in Japan, as that pitch is down and the count is now 2-2. So we'll do that one in the opener, and then we'll skip along and see what else we can give you. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back on it and making the catch is Ibina, and that is going to retire Hasegawa for the first out of the inning. So 1 away. Brings up Manaya Nishikawa. Questions were, do the games with the Dodgers and the Cubs count? Yes, they do. I saw a pretty interesting highlight it was either on Facebook or Instagram. And sitting down the third baseline, there was a play where Max Muncy tried to get into the stands to make the grab, as there was a breaking ball that misses down inside. And there was a fan with a glove who caught it. And as it turned out, it ended up turning out to be former Philadelphia Eagle, Detroit Lion quarterback Rodney Peete, who had made the catch. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. If I'm not mistaken, Rodney Peete, he went to USC. He might have played baseball at USC as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. But he definitely was a quarterback there. And then he ended up with the Detroit Lions, drafted the same time that Barry Sanders was selected. As that pitch misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. Yokohama has started to make changes as they've replaced their corner infielders. We'll have to get those as they come to bat. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded through the middle on the right side. That's going to be a base hit, as Nishikawa is aboard with a one-out single. It's kind of funny, the look that Muncy gave him. I don't know if Muncy knew who it was, but it was kind of even funnier because of the look that Rodney Peete gave him. Kind of humorous nonetheless. So Nishikawa aboard with a single. It's slated to bring up Tyler Nevin. As Nevin will step to the plate here. We'll double check on that. Well, actually, it looks like Mamori's moved over to first base. Nevin takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Nevin tonight has 2 doubles in 3 trips. He's scored a run and driven in a run, hitting .361 in the exhibition play. If he could take that into the regular season, that'll be great news for the Lions. He'll be a huge help for them. There's a fastball that misses in, and the count is 1-1. Our friend God is Great said many people are saying that Ohtani didn't really make a home run hit. Well, Ohtani, as far as I'm concerned, he is right now the best hitter in the game. I don't know if he's the best player in the game. I know he won the MVP award. Fastball swung on and fouled away by Nevin. And what I mean by that is that he's a designated hitter right now. When he's the pitcher and he's DHing, I like guys who can play a position. That's why I prefer Judge. That's why I prefer Trout. I don't know if those guys are still at the top. Well, Judge is, but certainly not Trout at the top of his game anymore. As the 1-2 on the way is swung on and lifted into straightaway center field. Drifting back on it is Abina. He's at the edge of the warning track, and he makes the catch. And tagging it first and heading to second is the runner Nishikawa, and he's going to make it in safely. Oh, boy. So Nevin gone for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Daiju Nomura. At least we think it's going to be Daiju Nomura. He came in to run for Cedeno. Interesting that Nishikawa went back to tag, challenging the arm of Abina. Some heads-up base running there, that's for certain. He's in scoring position with 2 outs. When Ohtani is pitching and he's swinging the bat, yeah, I think he's the best player in the game. So Nomura coming to the plate. He's 4 for 6, no homers and 3 RBIs. He's enjoying himself a pretty good spring with the stick in limited at-bats. The former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Outfield is in very shallow here. They have to throw the runner out at the plate if they got a chance. As the pitcher here holds himself to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now goes even at 1-1 to Nomura. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander working himself to the set position. Here comes the 1-1. As he kicks and fires, it is a Breaking ball that comes inside. We didn't get the call, but the first base umpire went up with the right hand and said he went around, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander again holding to the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses in the other batter's box, and the count now is 2-2 to Nomura. Kind of like last night's game. Last night's game took 3 hours and 45 minutes to play. In a lot of ways, it had no business in being that long to be able to play. And one thing I wonder is last year, I think the games were about 3 hours and 6 minutes for 9 innings of play. But it just seems like the games that are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the NPB are a lot earlier to finish than the games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As that fastball misses outside, it's now 3-2 to Nomura. I don't know if that's truth or lore. I'd be interested, though, to try to do a little homework on that to see if that's the case. I know on the weekends people might have more opportunity to be able to watch the games, maybe less so than on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as Issei holds, set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, chopped foul down the line at third. Keeps the count at 3-2. I mean, it's exhibition baseball. I know they've got a lot of pitching changes. That's where they lose the time of the game sometimes. But really, in a lot of ways, no business for these games to be dragging out 3.5 hours, especially last night's game that was a 3-3 ball game. So here comes the 3-2 offering as Issei holds, set, now delivers. Breaking ball misses outside. It's ball 4, and that is going to put Nomura aboard. He's got a 2-out walk. It's going to put runners at first and second, and that'll bring Seiya Watanabe to the plate. As we look around at the scores around the NPB tonight, as the games are in action in the 9th inning, it's a 7-4 lead in the top of the 9th for the Fighters over the Swallows. Top of the 7th inning at the Tokyo Dome, it's 2-1 for the Marines over the Giants. 3-1 for the Eagles over the Dragons. That game is in the bottom of the 7th at the Vantolin Dome as the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Watanabe. Game is ended at the Kyocera Dome. Buffalo's knocked off the Tigers 2-1. And there's a fastball that is taken. They go backdoor on Nomura at first. Oh, that's some boneheaded base running. They nailed the trail runner on a nice play there, a timing play. And he is picked off at first base. He goes out. And that is going to put him in the books at 2-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. Your score is the Lions 4 and Yokohama 2. Stick around, everybody. 8th inning is just around the corner. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We never did do our 7th inning stretch, but we're going to do it here as it's between the 7th and the 8th inning. We missed out on that last half inning. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Slated to come to bat here will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Yokohama. That means it'll be Hayashi, the pitcher's spot, and the top of the order in Abina. So we'll have to wait to see who Yokohama is going to send to the plate. We expect that there will be another pitching change here for the Lions in this one, as Sato had come into work, although maybe not, depending. Sato, I'll have to wait and see here, although I do think that they look like they are in the bullpen mode. It is number 34. This is Kaino coming in relief. So Hiroshi Kaino on in relief here, taking over for Sato. So Kaino, the right-hander, ready to get things going. Some changes defensively for the Lions. We'll have to get caught up on that as things move along. As we said, Hayashi, the pitcher's spot, at the top of the order, and the first pitch is swung on as grounded over to second, fielded by Hirasawa. He throws to first, and that is going to retire. It looks like it's Motoyama who's actually moved over to second now. So Motoyama with the play at second base. That's going to be a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. As we say, we'll get caught up on all these changes as we move along. Sometimes a little bit more of a challenge. Look at this. It looks like it is Takezawa who has gone in to play shortstop for the Lions. He had replaced Tyler Nevin. Hirasawa has moved over to first base. First pitch breaking ball delivered to Tobashira, and the count is quickly 1-0. This is the pinch hitter here, and the fastball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. This is Yasutaka Tobashira, one of the catchers for Yokohama. And there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Oh, this is going to be Motoyama's inning. Fields it and throws a dart to first base. It's a ground out 4-3. That's the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away the same way. So Yasutaka Tobashira has now got 2 outs here, and that'll be the top of the order in Tatsuya Abina. Bina coming to the plate. He is 0-2. He has struck out twice, and he's been hit by a pitch. As the right-hander ready to go. And now he kicks and delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled right off the mask of the catcher, Simatani, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Both of these teams will get about 3 days off before actually it's 4 days off until they start the season on Friday. I'm sure there won't be any time off, but a couple of days to get nestled into their home surroundings, as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. Bina tonight 0-2 since coming into the game, has struck out both times. And we mentioned entered the game for Masayuki Kuwahara, who was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. That'd drive you crazy. You're no balls and 2 strikes, and then you drill the batter, and then the batter's got to leave the game because he got hurt right there at the beginning of the ball game. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander again holds set, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses way upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go as he holds to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the left side, fielded neatly, but it's not going to be able to make the play over at first, as that is too deep into the 6 hole for the shortstop Takezawa to be able to make that play. Looked like he had also caught his cleats a little bit, so Abina is going to get himself an infield single. That'll bring up Shugo Maki to the plate. Well, Maki, his last time up, deposited a solo shot into the left field seats to cut the gap to 4-2. Maki now coming to bat with a duck on the pond here and 2 gone, as he is facing Kaino for the first time. Batting .348 with a couple of homers and 4 RBIs in exhibition play. Maki born to hit. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Got to be really delicate here with Maki. He'll be followed by Masaki Momori. So right-hander against the right-hander as he's ready to go again. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander holding set. Now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Maki did a 180, turned around. He didn't like that. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. The throw to first base and diving back in time is the runner Abina. Got to keep an eye on him here. Could be off to the races. Can run a little bit. Again, the right-hander checks the runner over at first. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. As he kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into right center field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder, and that's going to be hauled in by Hasegawa. And that is going to do it here for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they got no runs in the inning. They did get a hit, did the BayStars. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll have ourselves another pitching change. We got ourselves some different hitters coming up. We'll get all that information for you when we come back in just a few. But your score is 4-2 for the Lions as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 4th pitcher used tonight by Yokohama. It is going to be Yasuaki Yamazaki. So he is taking over. So Yasuaki Yamazaki, the 4th pitcher used here by the BayStars in this one. As the right-hander is just completing his tune-up tosses. Slated to come to bat will be Seiya Watanabe, Shuta Tonosaki, and Hayamoriyama, but I do believe that Tonosaki is Tonosaki, according to this, is still in the ball game. Thought he might have been done for the evening, but just the only difference is that Hirasawa has moved over to first base and Taikazawa is the shortstop on our books. Everything else is pretty much still the same. Looks like the BayStars have gone to Mori at shortstop now. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. As we mentioned, there is all kinds of changes that are going on and about. On the other side of the ball, Shibata is the 3rd baseman. So Watanabe steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and struck out twice. He was at the plate when Nomura got picked off in the 7th inning. So he starts with a fresh count here. As the right-hander holds to the set and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yamazaki. Right-hander against the right-hander. Yamazaki delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is Mackey, and he's going to make that over-the-shoulder catch. That is going to retire Watanabe on the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Shuto Tanesaki to the plate. Well, Tanesaki strides to the dish. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He has flown to right, struck out, and grounded to third. As he steps in here to face the right-hander Yamazaki, 11 for 35 in the spring, hitting north of 300. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Glad you guys could pop in here to listen tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. Bino holds his ground, and he's going to make the grab. Tanesaki's going to not be happy about that. He hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the center fielder for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to Haya Moriyama to coming to the plate. Moriyama tonight 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles. He's driven in a run. Moriyama is definitely enjoying himself a good spring. 6 for 13 now with a homer and 5 RBIs, batting .462. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on, and it's lifted into the netting foul. That's interesting, but the bat was sawed in half. Ended up almost down at first base. He's going to walk back and get himself a new piece of lumber. I've seen bats break plenty of times, but that one there was really interesting where it was hit and where it broke apart. It was like north of the handle and then split right in half. 2 balls and 1 strike. Heard a story about Ichiro Suzuki and his bats, and they were saying that his bats that he would get from Japan, nobody else could get the bats that were made for him. His bats were built a little bit differently than most. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander delivers. It is a split finger pitch waved at and missed, and now heading to count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander leading in and getting the sign as he works himself to the set position. Here comes the 0-2. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. It's an excuse me swing back to the pitcher. Yamazaki fields it. He underhands it to first, and Moriyama is going to be retired on a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for him. Here they go in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 8 complete. BayStars coming to bat here in the 9th. Another pitching change for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. It looks like it is Kaima Taira coming in to close this one out. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is indeed the right-hander Kaima Taira coming on in relief. It'll be interesting. I mentioned in our beginning, or at least in our podcast, how they're going to use Taira this year. They tried to stretch him out into a starter. He's not a big guy. He's just a little guy. And he had a hard time staying healthy last year. And he might be better served just coming out of the bullpen for the Saitama Seibu Lions, especially with some of the reinforcements that they do enjoy. It is going to be Masaki Momori to lead it off, and the first pitch is swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. And then it'll be Shibata and then Sano to follow, as there is a pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded past the diving third baseman in the left field for a base hit. So Momori gets his first hit of the spring and is probably his last spring at bat. And he's got himself a single, and that will bring up Tatsuhiro Shibata. Well, Shibata has come in defensively to replace Tyler Austin. This will be his first at bat of the evening, as he steps up to the plate. 2 for 9 in exhibition play, batting .222. No homers, no RBIs. Bats from the left side here against Taira. And the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We were talking yesterday about the length of the game, and it's not going to be as long as last night, touch wood, as we are going to be more than likely under the 3-hour mark. But who knows? It started at 10 o'clock Pacific, so 2 hours and 36 minutes last night, which just seemed to go on forever. So here comes the 0-2 offering. It's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Shibata. Kind of Sano to follow here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander delivers again. It is a breaking ball lifted foul. It's going to drift over into the netting. And that keeps the count at 1-2 here to Shibata. Much better crowd at the ball game tonight. 15,392. We were less than half of that in the midweek games as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Shibata. I'm sure the Lions would prefer a little larger gate than the 15,000 that are in attendance here. I didn't notice or didn't even take a look to see what the ticket prices would be for an exhibition game versus that of a regular season game. I know you sometimes get a little larger draw when it's the Central League that are in town, one would think. Always look forward to the Interleague play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the pitch is a split finger pitch and misses down. It's now 2-2 here to Shibata. Taira's had to work here so far. He's already thrown 9 pitches. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander holds to the set, now fires. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to short. They go to second for 1. Back to first, and that's going to be a double play. And that is going to be 2 outs now in the books here. So 6-4-3 if you're keeping score along with us. As a retired Momori at second for the first out, and Shibata was retired at first for the second. That leaves it all up to Kaida Sano. We'll take a look just to confirm that it is still Sano coming to bat, or have the BayStars pull the fast one on us. Nope, Sano takes a first pitch breaking ball outside for ball 1. Sano 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice, and he has flown to left field. As the pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. They were down to their final out, are the BayStars. Fastball misses inside. The count now goes to 3-0. I have to tell you, Tyra not looking very sharp tonight. 6 balls, 7 strikes. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside, and that's going to be ball 4. Sano's going to be aboard with a walk, and so that again brings the tying run to the plate in Koki Kajiwara. Kajiwara has been productive offensively tonight. He's technically 1 for 2 in his 3 trips. He's got a walk and an RBI. So he bats here from the left side against the right-handed slants of Kaima Taira. 8 for 38, batting .211 in exhibition play. And he's pulled his average north of that Mendoza line. As there's a breaking ball that is swung through and missed. The count is 0-1. We do have a pinch runner as it's Nishimaki who has come in to run here at first base for Sano. As Tyra delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on, and this ball is hit into right field. It's going to be a base hit. And going from first to third is the pinch runner, and that's going to put runners at the corners after the single here by Kajiwara. So now the BayStars have got something brewing here with 2 out, runners at the corners. And slated to bring Yudai Yamamoto to the plate. We'll see if the BayStars have got something up their sleeve here. They do have an army of pinch hitters available on their bench. So we're here in the top of the 9th inning, 2 gone. Yokohama rattling the Sabres. Runner at first, Kajiwara. Runner at third is Sano. And it is Yamamoto coming to the plate. Yamamoto 0 for 3 in this one tonight. Grounded out twice. Flew out to center field. The highlight was him grounding out to the right fielder. As the first pitch from Tyre is a fastball that misses outside. If you're joining us late, he had hit a ball on the screws to the right fielder. And Hasegawa had come in, fired a 2-hopper to first base to nail him by half a step. Fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count goes even at 1-1. Probably won't remember much from this game, but I'll remember that. That is for certain. You don't see that every day. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyra holds set, now delivers. There's a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike. And the count now is 1-2 on Yamamoto. Again, the right-hander leans in and he gets his sign from his catcher, but now he steps off and he's going to cycle through the signs all over again. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Pitch number 20 coming up here from Tyra. Now he steps off again, and they're going to cycle through the signs yet again, although that was that time Yamamoto asking for time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander again kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul into the seats on the first base side of home plate, and 1-2 it remains. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Tyra nods in agreement. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. Runs the count to 2-2. On to second on the pitch was Kajiwara. We'll see if they give him a stolen base on that or not. There might have been defensive indifference on that one, at least at our end. Most important batter right now, or most important one, is the batter. So they've got runners at second and third. 2 in scoring position here. The tying run is at second. The outfield in right and center have moved in case they got to throw the runner out at the plate. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Catcher Simatani holds it up that he's made the grab, and that is going to do it. Yamamoto down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, Yokohama, they threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. Your final score is the Saitama Seibu Lions 4 and Yokohama 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this one up for you in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a little wrap up here for you guys tonight. We'll give you the scores from around the league, and then we'll tell you a little bit about this one. 7-4, the final score between the Fighters and the Swallows. Sorry about that, everybody. Had the hot button the mic there because we had to sneeze. We got through this game pretty good. 7-4 was the final between the Fighters and the Swallows, as the Fighters knocked them off in the final game of that set. The other final was 2-1 between the Buffaloes and the Tigers. Game was all over at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. Top of the 9th inning, the Hawks have a 2-1 lead over the Carp. That is at the Mazda Stadium. It is a 3-1 lead for the Eagles over the Dragons. That's in the top of the 9th inning at the Vantolin Dome. And in the bottom of the 8th inning at the Tokyo Dome, the Marines have a 2-1 lead over the Giants. Well, your final score here was 4-2 for the Lions. The win tonight goes to Tona Takahashi. Picks up his 3rd win of the spring. The loss is tagged to Trevor Bauer. He drops to 0-1. The scoring tonight, the Lions got it going in the 2nd inning when Leandro Cedeno led off with a single. Then Seiya Watanabe singled. And then with 1 out, it was an RBI single off the bat of Hayayama Moriyama. It gave the Lions a 1-0 lead. The Lions added to their lead in the 3rd inning, and it all came with 2 outs. Up stepped Manaya Nishikawa. He singled, and then it was a double, an RBI double off the bat of Tyler Nevin to increase the scoreline to 2-0. And up stepped Leandro Cedeno, and he brought home the 2nd run of the inning with an RBI single, bringing home Nevin. That made the scoreline 3-0. In the 5th inning, Yokohama got one back as a leadoff double by Tyler Austin, and he was brought home with a 1-out single off the bat of Koki Kojawara. That made the scoreline 3-1. But the Lions increased their lead in the bottom of the 5th. A double by Taiga Hirasawa got things going to start it. And it was an RBI single off the bat of Shinya Hasegawa. That increased the scoreline to 4-1. In the 6th inning, Shugo Maki hit his 2nd homer of the spring. It was a solo shot with 2 gone. And that made the score 4-2. And that is where this game had ended. So once again, everybody, we appreciate you for listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. 4-11-0 for the Lions, 2-6-0 for the BayStars. That is your final score in this one tonight. All right, everybody, we appreciate you for being with us. We hopefully will see you again later in the week. Thanks again. It's been another Last Raps Baseball video production. We hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight.